Ooh.
Woo!
Mm. There.
We were so focused on giving our lovely readers instructions that I didn't even coordinate what kind of spooky thing I was
Ooh.
gonna do.
My evil twin.
Meow. I didn't even think of like what sound a scary cat makes. like a hissing sound.
Wow.
Hiss, hiss. Oh my god. Well, I've been so preoccupied by like wearing the mask and the claws, which look so cool. Pete Nelson, hey, he just said scary cats don't giggle. That's right. That's right, Pete. I need to get it together.
Oh, I don't know about that even. Those are the
Oh my
scariest cats of
god.
all.
Oh, say again, Chris?
Those are the scariest cats of all. The cats that
The
giggle are
one, yeah,
scary.
the ones that giggle, right? That it could be a maniacal giggle.
Ooh.
Yeah, crazy. I yesterday when I was actually out and I was having my crawl to the various Halloween events that I was having fun, stopping by. When I was wearing the mask and the claws in public, I was so involved. I was so like confused with like having a mask on my face, like on my eye part of my face. I mean, I'm used to the other mask, obviously, but like having a mask on my eyes and like my weird depth perception and like not being able to touch anything with the claws. Like some people were like, "Hey, cool costume," and I was like, I was like, "Hi, yeah, hi, thank you," because I was like so concerned about not like stumbling over somebody or something.
How are you holding your, beverage?
Well, I clearly took off my claws. Priorities. I took off my claws to get my beverage and pay for my beverage. And then of course I put my claws back on so I get a cool little picture of me holding my beverage with my claws. Like I said, priorities.
You can do the selfie with those claws?
Oh, say
Oh,
again?
you can do a selfie with those claws?
Well, I only put on one of the hands. And then I had my phone in the other one. I was like just shamelessly photoing it up with like a partial costume. Everybody take a look at my Instagram stories. You'll see. You'll see. But I had a good time. I had a good time, Chris. It was really, really nice. Chris, did you do anything Halloweeny, anything spooky this weekend?
Oh, well, I went to a Halloween party. That was
Oh,
pretty spooky.
oh
Um,
my gosh, nice.
yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, actually, and a lot of great costumes. I went as Charles Darwin,
Oh, very nice.
and, yeah, there were a lot of elaborate costumes there. They were very impressive.
That is so cool. I could see you as a Charles Darwin. It's the beard, Chris. The beard does it.
Here, I think next year I'm gonna be Karl Marx.
Karl Marx. Just go to that like list of beards, you know?
I've been Moses, I've been Zeus,
Oh, Zeus last year was just
I
fantastic.
get in Karl Marx. I'm gonna get like more and more obscure, be like William Henry Harrison or somebody like
I love that, Chris. I love it. Wait, Chris, now that more people are joining, we need to show them mini Chris.
Oh yes.
We need to get mini Chris up here. Oh my god. Oh
Welcome
my
to Fumfa. Let me get my beer here.
Oh, yes, he needs his beer. Oh, that's the one thing that Mini Chris needs. That's too cute. Listen, Frankie, you need to have a little arm coming off the side of a little can with a little local IPA. A little
Just put it like
Geo Bunny from Nod Hill.
way back here, and then you I'm not
Oh my god,
coordinated.
this is too funny. Ryan Meyer says in the chat, Katie's selfie game is strong. Ryan, thank you. Thank you. And Mom says, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween,
Uh,
everyone. And then Ryan Meyer said hashtag Team Mini Chris. I love it. It's just
Mhm.
perfect. Well, it is 8 o'clock, and it's time for us to officially welcome you to Spooky Night. Ooh. I'm still not making any spooky sounds. I'm so bad at this.
A lot of giggling,
No,
but
it's so much giggling. So much giggling. Oh my god. Oh my god. Chris, I love it. Oh my god, Frankie did such good work there. But anyways, yes, it is spooky night. Thank you so much for being with us. We hope that you are in costume. We hope you got some candy. We hope you got a delicious spooky beverage and are ready for some spooky readings from 10 amazing authors this evening. It's gonna be incredible. It's gonna be so much fun, and we are really pumped to welcome them. Let me do a little rundown of our readers this evening. Coming up very soon for you, we will have Phil Lemos, Meg Moore, Jane Spoken Word, Ed Foreman, aka Ed Poetastic, Rowan Marcy, Melissa Slattery, Terry Rose Jertson, Mary Catherine Harper, Ryan Meyer, and Deb Carr. Stay till the end for fantastic, spooky, scary, fabulous readings and performances, and some great costumes coming through as well. So it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be good.
terrifying group of people tonight.
A terrifying group of people.
Absolutely, bone chilling,
Bone chilling.
brain tingling.
Exactly. Yeah, Chris might need to help me click some things here. I might need to do that thing where I have one hand in the closet, one hand out. You know, for the amazing people who do really long nails, I have never mastered how to
No,
how to do things.
if you
I
if
need
you get an itch or something and you forget, and it's like,
right. But you know what? I feel like if it's really glued to your finger, I can imagine that making it more possible, but I'm so clumsy with these. But anyways, Chris, before we get started tonight,
yeah, yeah,
what do
yeah.
we have coming up soon?
Yes, well, we have some exciting stuff happening next week. We have Fumfa's own Ryan Stovall coming in and reading from his new book. And we have our friend from the Bronx, Dara Kalima, who's going to
Awesome.
blow your socks off with, uh,
Absolutely.
with her poetry. And the weekend after that, we have Veterans Day night. Veterans
Yeah,
Day night. Whatever.
Veterans Day.
And,
Veterans Night.
Veterans night. Um, Folks from Consequence Forum are going to read. Our friend Deb Carr, who's with us tonight, is going
Hey, Deb.
to introduce these folks: Mark Basquill, Joshua Nagel, Matt Burgess, and Gillen Crichton. All amazing writers gonna write about the veteran experience. And the week after that, we have our in-person event at
Awesome.
at Echo Evolution there in South Norwalk. And our featured people are going to be our friend Pete Nelson, who's with us too,
Hey, Pete Nelson.
playing some tunes. Fumfa's own Rebecca Dimian,
Boop,
who has
boop.
a brand new book, and then she's got like another book like right after that coming out.
So
And
cool.
the one I'm very excited to meet. I've never met in person because of her name. I just want to meet this person named Kira McSpice.
Room Spice. Well, I mean, you can't be born with a cooler name than that. You can't have a cooler name. A very awesome local musician. We're so excited to get to hear her perform. Check her out. It's gonna be awesome. If you live within a commutable distance, come on down. But you know what? Philip J. Curtis, our friend Midnight, he flew in. He flew in. No, I'm just he was visiting New York, but
Colorado, but then he came up from Brooklyn.
he came up from Brooklyn, peeps. So please come on down. It's a great night of community and fun and fabulous readings, performances, events. It's gonna be awesome.
Our friend Phil Lemos drove down from Massachusetts.
Phil is setting the bar, folks.
Nelson is going to be coming down from Massachusetts.
That's right.
Yeah, Bronx crew has come up from the Bronx.
The
So
Bronx crew. Well, we love you all, and we hope you'll come by. Um, Without further ado, woo! I'm so not spooky.
yes.
We need to welcome our first guest of the evening, who is a terrifyingly good writer. And it is also his birthday. So get ready to welcome our first guest of the evening, birthday guy Phil Lemos.
Happy birthday to
To
you.
you. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear Phil.
Phil. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to you.
to you.
And many more.
And many more. Did you see that I I took off my other client?
Don't show that. All right.
I need to be able to click. I can't even click. Okay, apology, Phil. Happy birthday! Without further ado, let me get your bio. Let me get your bio up here. Oh, Phil, because you didn't resubmit your bio, we made a spooky bio for you. Phil
Oh,
Lemos.
he should have a spooky bio. He's born on Halloween for crying. Or
Yeah,
almost.
basically, yeah. Phil Lemos has a scary number of MFAs and has been working on his novel for a scary number of years. That's what we came up with. He is just generally scary. Okay. All right, take it away, Phil. We love you.
All right. Yeah, I am kind of frightening. Thank you all. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Today I'm going to read a short story that I wrote about a week or so ago. It is scary in the sense that it takes place right after an apocalypse. So I figure that would be a good one to wheel out for tonight. But it also has some interesting twists to it. And it's pretty short, so I think it won't be too frighteningly unbearable for all of you. So um, I will go ahead, and it came out of a. I was watching like the opening from the movie version of The Road, the film adaptation of Cormac McCarthy's novel, and I just started thinking to myself, you know what? There's more to Apocalypse than this. So anyway, and I just started writing, and it kind of went from there. So it spiraled out of control, but it's still pretty short and sweet. So I'll go ahead and get started. And I just basically have come up with the very unoriginal title, Apocalypse, at least for now. So when the apocalypse started, we saw a flash of light. Since then, nothing but emptiness as far as we could see. We saw the barren convenience store lot, street signs with their lettering now absent of reflective quality. The only way I knew what direction we were headed was from instinct. I dumped my backpack into the rusty shopping carriage, inside of which contained a pad of paper and a supply of pens and pencils I'd collected over the years, and a ration of snack food. Slim Jims, jerky, Ruffles, Hershey bars, Haribo gummy bears, along with antiseptic, bandages, anything and everything we thought we need to survive and could fit into our carriages. Our stash was running out. We knew this day would come eventually. We needed to stock up for the cold times. I asked her for help. We needed to get the convenience store's double doors open, and I was sure it'd be locked or otherwise unable to be pried open by only one person. We each leaned on one door and threw our combined weight into it. Surprisingly, we were able to force the door open with little difficulty. In fact, my momentum sent me stumbling onto the floor inside. She followed me in. We patrolled up and down the aisles, refilled our carriages, shoving Chex Mix, Lifesavers, Twinkies, sour cream and onion flavored Lays. So, do you think we're it? I asked. It had been about a month and still no sign of anyone. Nobody, no cars, no technology, no lights. Seems like it. She paused. You'd think we would have run into someone by now. I thought for a moment, and then I couldn't resist a smile as I said, This is fucking awesome. I know, right? She said. I can't tell you how long I've just been wanting to just get away from people. We went back and forth and rattled off all the benefits of this new world. I hated my boss anyway, I said. Good riddance to him. Life without alarm clocks has been great, she said. Didn't have to write a rent check last month, or this month, or ever again. I started to get comfy on the counter in the convenience store's embedded Dunkin' Donuts while I ogled a stale, month-old chocolate cream. She continued, haven't heard from Donald Trump lately. Hell yeah. And haven't been force-fed the lowlights of the latest episode of the Kardashians. Don't need to follow bothering the NFL anymore. Never have to go to a faculty meeting or work again. Yes! The apocalypse started an hour before I was about to be roped into that meeting from hell that I was totally unprepared for, and also was the stupidest idea for a meeting anyway. Such a well-timed apocalypse. Thank you, Armageddon. Then came the moment where we started to think about how this really all could go sideways on us. Only one thing worries me about this, I said. What's that? This whole scene kind of reminds me of Cormac McCarthy's personal utopia, The Road. She pondered that thought for a moment and then said, not quite. You're forgetting one thing. What's that? I'm here. You know damn well that Cormac McCarthy hates women. I nodded and said, strong point. Thank you.
Oh my God, Phil, it was too good. You haven't talked up about the apocalypse, Phil.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You didn't see my unclawed hand. That was fantastic. That was too good. I love looking at the benefits. Like, we didn't have to hear from Trump. Or the
the apocalypse stories, people forget the silver lining.
Yeah.
I think this could be your next novel, Phil. I think I want to see what happens to these two, and how they enjoy this.
Fantastic. I love it. Happy birthday once again, Phil. So great having you on tonight.
Thanks.
All right. See you, Phil. What an evening so far. Well, we are just getting started. That was so great. Wasn't that, Chris? It's great to start off a little bit spooked, but mostly laughing. That's great. We love it. We are really excited to welcome our second guest of the evening, Meg Moore. Hey, Meg.
How's it going there, Meg?
And Chris. Always good to be back on here.
We're so happy to have you, Meg. Chris, will you do the honors of reading Meg's bio?
Of course. Margaret, also known as Meg Moore, is a summer 2022 graduate of Fairfield University's Master of Fine Arts and Creative Writing program, where she earned a degree in creative nonfiction and poetry. Woo! An editor and the marketing coordinator of Woodhall Press. We love those people, and works as an ambassador for PRC South Carolina. Her writing has appeared in Brevity's nonfiction blog, Kairos, oh man, so many things. So
many awesome publications and events.
Awesome and scary publications. Most recently, Meg founded Positivity for Patients, the Art of Yes You Can, a community service initiative working to donate works of art and writing centered on themes of positivity and hope to hospitals. As she lived in a haunted college dorm for 5 years, and actually witnessed some eerie phenomena that never had any apparent human-induced cause, Meg may be qualified for a position at Ghostbusters. Her application is currently under review. Who you gonna call?
Ooh.
Thank you. I'm going to read 2 poems tonight. Both were written while I was in college. The first is called Into the Blood-Curdling Mind of Edgar Allan Poe. You've got to wonder what it is that made up the mind of the great Edgar Allan Poe. Was his mind arranged eerily in design, like the House of Usher with its eye-like windows? Did many of his thoughts begin with a dull, dark, and soundless day? I think of his telltale heart, and the poor old man's fate, his body, dismembered, under the floorboards. Oh, how it sends shivers down my spine. Yet all the gore, And the horror too has won Poe great fame. For no one can invoke the thrills, chills, and near stomach ills quite like Poe. Indeed, he has mastered the fine art. Indeed, his mind is one of the most blood-curdling places that readers can go. As shared in my bio, I lived in a haunted dorm at Fairfield for 5 years, and this dorm has actually appeared on the Connecticut Registry of Haunted Places. So I thought I'd read a poem I wrote in college called The Perks of Living in a Haunted Dorm. And the fun thing about this piece is everything described in the narrative is real. All the events are what really happened as I was living there. So here is the perks of living in a haunted dorm. There are countless perks of living in Dolan, the old Julie Hall. Once you get past the odd kinks and ghost-infested dreams, and the creaks that inspire the soul-chilling screams, you realize how convenient it is. This ghost nun is not too terrifying. In fact, she is polite and problem-rectifying. Are your hands full with your freshly laundered clothes? Just approach the elevator, she will open the door for you, she wouldn't want you to drop those. And how about the knocking we hear on our back wall? Well, I guess that's just another spooky detail of which to enthrall. What about the random emergency call box activations? See, all of this used to give me serious trepidations, particularly last fall, but now it's just normal. Now I don't even ask myself, who you gonna call?
Meg, I love it. Oh, fantastic. Oh my God. Meg, that was Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
That was the best. Okay, not many people know. Well, actually, maybe everybody knows. I went to Fairfield undergrad, and there was a super haunted dorm. Dolan, actually, most of my close friends lived there. So, what does that say about my friends? I don't know. I was just kidding. It was actually a great place to live. But it definitely had some spooky happenings. And that is so cool to hear that in your poem, Meg. So fun. Great shout outs to Edgar Allan Poe there as well. We love having you on, Meg, and we hope to have you. We're planning a little something to have you back soon as a feature. So everybody stay tuned for more Meg Moore. Fantastic. Chris, awesome stuff, right?
Fantastic. And, as if going to college isn't scary, right? You got to be in a haunted dorm. I can't. Enders Island isn't haunted, actually, but,
with that whole arm.
crazy arm.
Look at us both doing. I can't believe we don't talk even more about the arm on this show. Oh my God, that's too good. All right, Meg Moore, we thank you so much. Happy Halloween. Awesome to have you. All right. Well, moving right along, Chris. What a fabulous evening. Meg is starting to bring the spooks. We started off with some laughs with Phil. We got some spooks with Meg. I got reminded of Dolan, which is great. and Edgar Allan Poe, yeah. And we need to welcome our next reader of the evening, Jane Spoken Word. Hey, Jane. Ooh, spooky background. We love it. We love it, Jane. All right, let me share Jane's bio. Okay, Jane's bio is in first person. So just imagine that I am Jane. I was created in a laboratory by a monster, implanted with an artificially grown brain, ignited by an electric storm of lightning strikes to bring me to life. I love it, Jane. I love it. Infusing my mind with the fire of poetry, I am a poet, not a blow-up doll, not a picture in your wallet, not a trophy on your mantle, not a monster in your pocket. I'm all about looking for the place where my scarred complexion ain't the connection to who you think I am. I'm just a ream of paper and a burning hot fucking pen. Jade, it was really fun to get to read those words for your bio intro. I felt empowered. I felt sassy.
It's always good to hear.
Oh, Jane, you're muted. Just unmute yourself from your end before you get started. All right. So just click the little microphone where you see down in the gallery to unmute yourself. Okay. So right on your video, you'll see in the gallery below, you'll see an unmute button. Okay. So I'm trying to unmute you. But I'm not able to. Okay, so you see the gallery down below. You just click on the unmute button. If it's not letting you if it's not letting you do that, you can rejoin real quick and then just don't click mute. Just in case it's giving you some spooky technology this evening. Okay. All right. So Jane is going to rejoin us real quick. The mic is not on. We can't hear you, Jane. Jane is going to be rejoining.
She's in the twilight zone.
She's in the twilight zone of soundlessness. All right. Jane?
Yes.
There
Hey!
we go.
Take it away, Jane!
All right, the ghosts are with us now. All right, so I'm Jane Spoken Word. You can find me on IG. You can find my website at janespokenword.com, where you can read, hear, and see some of my shit. So I have two pieces for you tonight. One is new shit, one is old shit. So I will start with the old piece. Welcome to my world of dreams and illusions, frightmare nights and horror sights and abstract confusions that are born in the dark. Realities appear and disappear. What's so very real becomes at most unclear. Proceed with caution if you dare. Pay attention and open with care, because the dream police will get you if you don't. Watch out. Dreams filled in deepest realities. Deep expression of a thought gone mad. Realities of a world where insanities reign. Where disillusion is the illusion that gets lost among the sane. Uncertainties of a naked mind, unrestrained by conscious time, dimensions born in the eye of a stare. Be very careful which mask you wear, because the thought police will get you if you don't watch out. Thoughts lived in secret realities orbit the inner mysteries of life and all her miseries, with deep, dark secrets locked behind each and every door. Click your heels 3 times. We're not in Kansas anymore. And the dream police will get you if you don't watch out. And the thought police and the dream police and the boogeyman will get you if you don't watch out. That was the first piece, dreams and illusions. So the next piece is a new one. I wrote it for today, so new shit. All Hallows Eve found me frightened and weary, with ghostly winds blowing ever so eerie, casting spells on this cursed night as the undead dance in the moonlit light. Creaking steps upon the floor come knock, knock, knocking at my bedroom door. Intangible voices saturate the air, shaking and rattling unearth my fear, haunting straight from the poet Poe's lore. Fuck that raven, nevermore, nevermore. Each rustled sound rattles my core. Who knows what evil lurks behind the door? Ghastly visions creeping, my heart beating. Shadow knows where dark things dwell, where spirits of the dread rise from hell. For on this night the undead come alive, from the spirit world they rise, rattling their bones on a nightmare's ride, faithful to a tombless corpse they hide. I shriek for a moment, spooked no more, no longer whispered horrors to explore. Only darkness lies behind my door. Nothing to fear, nothing more. Simply mine playing tricks unsure. I shout into the darkness. I implore. No more grim rapping at my door. Never more. Never more. Peace, y'all.
Wow! Spooky! I've lost both claws now. I need to clap. I need to clap.
Thank you guys for having me. This is a gas.
We
Oh.
love you, Jane, and we love your poems. Bring in that spookiness, but also those insightful words in that first one. You got some awesome comments. Go check those out in the chat. And we're so honored you wrote something new for tonight. We love it. It was
Beautiful.
awesome, really
Cool.
awesome, really spooky. It's fabulous.
Have
Beautiful.
a ghostly night, y'all.
It's very ghost-like, the image, right? She's kind of goes in and out.
Right, you're kind of like going in and out of the background there too. It was like so cool.
Yes, it's the ghost taking control.
That's
Yeah,
right.
All
That's
All our
right.
ancestors are with us tonight.
That's
right.
right.
Have a great
All
night.
right, Jane.
I'm looking forward to the rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jane. Awesome. Chris, so cool, right? So spooky.
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 We should have called her Jane Spooky Word tonight. That should have
Oh
been.
my God, yeah. Chris, good one, good one. Jane Spooky Word. That's too good. Well, we are very excited to continue our evening with all of you. We have a whole bunch of fabulous, scary, terrifying, bone-chilling readers, including our very next reader coming up, Ed Foreman, aka Ed Poetastic. Welcome, Ed.
Thank you. Oh, you look a little clawing today. And
Oh.
Chris, 2 is better than 1.
Oh, thank you. I'm so bad with wearing these. I'm so not used to long nails. Thank you so much, Ed. You're the best. We're excited to hear you tonight, Ed. Chris, I think yes, Chris is going to do the honor of sharing your bio. But actually, Ed, you didn't send in a fresh bio, so we made our own bio for you.
Aww.
Where's the one we read up? Where's it?
Oh, okay. Actually, it's at the tippy top here. I'll just go ahead and read it. Ed Foreman, aka Ed Poetastic, is a spooky poet who wants to make you feel fantastic.
I love it.
I'm so bad at writing scary stuff. All right, Ed, we're so excited to hear you tonight. Take it away.
Sure. Thank you. Oh, hello, my witches and fiends and everyone in between. Happy Halloween. Well, my name is Ed Potastic. Hope everyone's feeling fantastic. Please give me the time so you can join my rhyme for all you feel sublime. I got 3 poems, so you know they're gonna rhyme. Hope it won't take too much time because rhymes are simply divine. All right, this is called The Mask Omen. I didn't choose the monster, but the monster chose me. This beautiful knife calls my name. I wear the mark of the bloodthirsty beast. I have no humanity or shame. I was a small boy who was ugly. Kids be without mercy. Nobody helped me willingly. I cried unworldly. They threw me to river without end. The water was going through my mouth and lungs. I yelled help, but I didn't have any friends. Oh, the deep salt water did suffocate and stung. I found this mask belonging to nowhere. The mask playfully sings. It promises to bear all my worries with care. The start of new beginnings. I packed it in my backpack. I paid it no mind. Its words were blissful heart attacks. I was amazed by the signs. After school, the neighborhood bullies chased me. I was a deer in the headlights. Please, just leave me alone, please. I couldn't escape with all my might. They held me down. They deeply bruised my stomach and face. I looked like a mauled clown, my blood and tears smeared with unmerciful grace. They left. I gargled with sadness and pain. My backpack roared with ferocity. It roared words of crimson rain. It lured me with its monstrosity and curiosity. It roared, tomorrow you won't suffer no more sorrow. I smiled with a crooked smile of glee. It says their punishment will be agonizing and slow. Thank you, my angel, who will save me. The day after, there was nothing new. Bullies chased me without end. There were hyenas at the zoo. I heard someone say, "Put me on, my terrified little friend." I put on the mask. I felt so many screams and whispers. It happened so fast. Their bodies were completely timber. I took off the mask. They were bloody and lifeless dolls. It completed its task. Wait, was I the cause? I brought forth a storm. They were butchered without remorse. The mask made me transform. The mask drifted off course. The next day, I saw a few guys chase the woman. They had snake eyes. She screamed for help throughout the land. Nobody came. Why, I'm not surprised. I followed them into a vacant alleyway. I put on the mask. I watched blood fly and bodies decay. It was a start, but it didn't last. I killed them all. Me and my crimson hands. I made these beasts fall. My mask, I truly understand. I tried to comfort the woman, but she slapped me. She had the same hate as the bullies. I was the monster of her misery. I will help to set her free. I put the mask on again. I hugged her close and tight. I just want the screams to end. It felt wrong, but it felt so right. I ran covered with blood and perfume. My body nestled away in the darkness. I was showered with the light from the moon. I was consumed by a demonic animalistic bliss. You want to know my name? Here's the hint. Happy Halloween. Killing's my merry game. Would you be the next prey for my crime scenes? All right, got another one. This is called Webhead. My spine is tingling. Days must be near. It's time to punch culprits, thieves, and villains into tears. My ordinary life being Spider-Man. I do any for any guy with spider powers can. Swinging through vast buildings in these annoying Spanish tights, trying to juggle the concept of what's wrong and right. A mask woven with words of great response. A mask woven with wise words of great power comes great responsibility. Too bad evil doesn't have any accountability or simplicity. This suit, a sticky emblem to wear, the heavy burns I must bear but never ever share. They say crime never sleeps, but God, give me a break for once. Just a measly time for a sleep or a bite for a quick brunch. My mind thinly grasping my funny innocence, my old easy life of being normal, I solely reminisce. Mary Jane, she's always the web beneath my wings. Her presence always make my heart swing and sing. Aunt May, she the swinging thing next to my heart. I make sure no one or nothing tears us apart. Uncle Ben, I'm so sorry. I hope you're proud of me. I promise to be the most spectacular superhero. You'll see. Venom, he was always the oil in my clear pond, pushing my horror action in the great beyond. Carnage, Venom on overdrive. Every time I fight him, I'm surprised I'm still breathing and alive. Rhino, he's such a dim ring wrecking ball. Like they always say, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Dr. Octopus is a genie with a heart made of vibranium steel. He always keeps me on edge and top of my heels. Green Goblin, my best friend's maniac bipolar father. After I beat him, I needed to prescribe him a great therapist, or a doctor. Vulture, he's such a crazy bird brain. He's the embodiment of common sense down the drain. Scorpion, he's a new definition of acid rain. I know his dry cleaning is a huge pain. Black Cat, she's my troublemaking minx. She's sexy. Ahem, sneaky still little jinx. Sandman, the cuckoo who's filled with the sand. It really feels like me against the barren land. Electro, he's always a jolt in my side. He always leaves my cell phone web shooters fried. Stanley, he was a marvelous Excelsior guy. Now he's not with us, but became a star in the sky. It's just my average day being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, the savior of citizens and the punishment of madmen. All right, this other one's called Sith Monster. I was a young, gifted, and a chosen one. I remember being burned alive underneath a volcanic sun. Had so much talent. I even had my own Padawan named Ahsoka. She slowly strayed away from me as in nature's law. I was supposed to bring great balance to the force. Both sides got the better of me, and I drifted off course. I wanted infinite power to save you, my precious Padme. Your warm presence means, what else can I say? The rushing image of you dying keep my mind awake. It was for her, for every Jedi Master and Sith Lord's sake. I choked my Padme with my mechanical hand in her moment of need. Before I knew it, it was too late to unplant the Sith seed. Master Obi-Wan, you told me to let her go in my deaf ears. I changed into a yellow-eyed monster with endless tears. Master Obi-Wan, you yelled I had the high ground. Before I knew it, I heard a buzzing sound while half of me was on the ground. I curse you, my sizzling dying breath. You walked away without seeing my death. As I smelled my burning flesh with darkened rage, I heard a sinister voice saying he was ready for the second stage. The robot surgeons poked at my disfigured flesh as I screamed from agonizing pain, a new body to hide away this hideous milky stain. I heard his sinister voice telling me to wake up and rise. I'm a grotesque monster. I stopped to ironically realize. My master told me I killed my Padme. I scream in shocked, my boiling tears covering this inhumane rock. I killed my precious Padme. How can this be? How can I kill the most loving, humane part of me? Now I'm the Jedi hunter. Some Jedi ran, but most of them tried. I turn on my lifesaver while I see the familiar hate in their eyes. I always say, join me into the dark side. But they scream in monster and disbelief. No Jedi could ever understand my pain, sorrow, and grief. My dark star destroyed planets to spread my emperor's influence and reign, accomplishing my master's sinister and twisted campaign. I stand wheezing in eternal darkness, anguished and alone. I hold my crimson lightsaber, burning brighter, yet so cold. Luke Skywalker, my blood flows through your veins while the force grows strong. Maybe you can save the galaxy and right my wrongs. Thank you.
Yes, and
They're doing the scary voices tonight.
I'm bringing scary voices. He's bringing the scary voices. He's bringing the mask. He's
Scary
bringing
mask.
our comic book villains, heroes, anti-heroes. He's bringing Star Wars, Darth Vader, and
Yeah.
fabulous. We love it. We love it, Ed. Thank you so much. Thank you for a
You're
super fun reading.
welcome.
Completely mesmerizing calendar on the wall as well.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
calendar.
thank you.
We love your mask. We love the ambiance. We loved your poems. Just so much fun as usual. We love your rhymes. And you brought us to so many different places, so many different characters and villains and dark moments. It was fantastic. Happy Halloween, Ed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and happy Halloween. Thank you, my witches and fiends and everyone in between. Hope
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have a sweet Scene.
We love it. We love it. Wow. Ed Poetastic. Chris, it's always so great to have Ed on here, isn't it?
Amazing. He's fantastic, that Ed
He
Poetastic.
is fantastic. Oh, so fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed that fabulous reading performance from Ed Poetastic. We are super excited to welcome a new guest this evening for the first time, gracing the Fumfa live stream. We are so excited to welcome Rowan Marcy. Hi, Rowan.
Hey, Rowan.
So nice to meet you. We love your witch's hat. Oh no, you can't hear us? Oh no. Oh no.
Tonight, there's definitely some
Ooh, some spooky audio situations.
poltergeist stuff happening.
Yes. Okay. So you know what? I'm going to just tell her in the backstage here, just to re-enter, and come back in. Yeah. Just click that same link. She's gonna rejoin us. No worries, folks. Just like Jane's spoken word. I think the mute button is doing spooky things to some of our guests.
Poltergeists.
So yeah, some unmuting poltergeists. You know, just they got bored after everyone went back to the office. I mean. The poltergeists of mute unmute. Oh my goodness. So Rowan is going to rejoin us. Yes, as Ryan Meyer says, a little internet mischief going on tonight. Yes. Gremlins. Pete Nelson said gremlins. I love it. Yes, something like that. All right. Well, we're going to be waiting for Rowan. Chris, I see that Terry is in costume backstage.
I see that as well.
She's looking amazing. Should we perhaps jump to Terry while we are waiting for Rowan to fix her tact to pop back into the backstage?
Nope. Here she is. She's back. I knew that would happen as soon as I said.
Yes. All right. Rowan, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Rowan?
All right, there we go.
Oh, we're having some weird gremlins.
What gremlins? Unmuting poltergeists. We love your costume, and it's so nice to meet you, Rowan.
Yes, thank you for having me. This is so much fun.
Thank you so much. So glad you're enjoying. Hopefully it will be the first of many appearances on the stream. We know that you are friends with some of our writer friends and guests. Ryan, I think you know Ryan Meyer and SK Marr and Amy C. Martin. And we are so excited to get to know you as well. Chris, would you do the honor of sharing Rowan's bio?
I'm going to read her spooky author bio.
Mm-hmm.
Rowan Marcy is possessed by fantastical tales that lurk in the dark corners of her mind. By day, she poses as a mental health provider and advocate for queer and disabled youth. But by night, she transforms into a creature of storytelling. Her twisted tales have been published in anthologies by Quill Keepers Press and Northern Connecticut Writers Workshop.
Whoop, whoop.
With fully formed novel, a young adult fantasy is searching for a suitable host. Ryan haunts the Northwest Connecticut hills with fellow creatures, large and small. Take it away.
Take it away, Rowan.
Awesome. All right. This character was kind of knocking around in my head for a while until I found a home for him in this flash fiction piece called A Devilish Proposition. Asmodeus loved the 21st century. He loved his look tonight. Hell, he even liked this filthy American city. There were so many opportunities, if you knew where to look for them. He checked his reflection in the bus window, adjusting his hair and vintage Black Sabbath tee. He'd been sitting beside a pretty 20-something with pink hair until the last stop. He'd almost had her, until he crossed some invisible line and sent her stomping off after calling him a pervert. Humans were complicated prey, but no matter. There'd be plenty of chances before the night was through. The bus squealed to a stop, and the demon checked his phone before setting off. Down a side street reeking of refuse, a twitching neon sign and thumping bass announced his destination. Fresh quarry waited outside Club Inferno. Glassy-eyed youth milled about in clouds of smoke and adrenaline. As he passed through the shadows, Asmodeus shifted into a female form, inspired by the pink-haired girl from the bus, but with much less clothing. Humans were visual creatures, after all. He locked eyes with a tall, jittery-looking boy and slunk over, holding out a hand for his vape. Share? The boy grinned. Hell yeah, you single? Perfect. Asmodeus would bet half his claim to the underworld that this idiot's name was Jake, or perhaps Cameron. He dragged the boy into the club, bypassing the bouncer with a wink. Asmodeus ignored the question Jake/Cameron shouted in his ear as he led him across the crowded dance floor to a private room in back. Inside, blood-red velvet drapes shimmered beneath antique wall sconces. Plush chaise lounges stood empty, but for a single occupant who reclined in the shadows. What is this? Jake/Cameron muttered. The Ancient One wore a midnight black suit that matched his dark hair, high collar framing a bone-pale face and pretentious expression. The whole aesthetic was very cliché, in Asmodeus's opinion. This, my dear, is a business dinner. Asmodeus dropped his human facade to reveal his true form, horns, tail, and all. The human boy yelped and pulled back, but Asmodeus dug his claws into the boy's wrist until blood dripped onto the carpet. Asmodeus, the Ancient One drawled, what the hell are you doing here? Asmodeus shoved Jake/Cameron toward him. I'm here to discuss a partnership. The Ancient One caught the trembling boy by the throat. To his credit, Jake/Cameron fought back, scratching at the old vampire's face and raising a terrible ruckus. But the Ancient One shushed him with a tap to the forehead, and he slumped to the ground in a stupor of glamour. The old vampire raised a brow. What makes you think I'm interested in partnering with a cad of a demon like you? Asmodeus tutted. Vampires. Always so elitist, so content to wallow in your fussy mansions and brood over long-dead grievances. It's the 21st century, friend. The world has moved on without you. He flashed a smirk. Not to worry, though. I've spent the last few centuries making connections all over this world, ones I can access any time of day, without that pesky problem of combusting in the sun. The Ancient One's lip curled. Do you really think you can use my status to ingratiate yourself to the underworld again? As I hear it, the majority of your court has abandoned you to follow someone else. Asmodeus tipped his chin. I'll admit, I've been a bit careless with my duties, but who can blame me? There's so much to see in the mortal realm, so many people to do. He grinned at the glamoured teen slumped against the vampire's knee. I know you like your humans as much as I do, old man. The Ancient One's eyebrows drew together, and the dark energy in the room chilled. There it was again, that invisible line Asmodeus always seemed to cross. As it happens, the vampire snapped, I do desire a partnership with a daywalker, but you're a bit too late. The curtains behind the Ancient One shifted. A figure emerged, one that was all too familiar to Asmodeus. Mammon, he breathed. You son of a whore. The demon prince of greed stepped into the light, girth straining at his vest buttons, his smirk not unlike Asmodeus's. Behind him he dragged a quavering human in white vestments. We meet again, little brother. Hopefully, this time will be the last. Asmodeus lunged at him, and promptly slammed into an invisible barrier. Perplexed, he stared at his immobile feet. Then, with dawning horror, he lifted his gaze to the ceiling. Above his head, a devil's trap sigil had been painted in fresh blood. Asmodeus prickled cold. What is it you want, Mammon? I want you bound somewhere I don't have to look at your insufferable, irresponsible ass for the next 5 millennia. How's that? He gave his human priest a nudge. Do your thing. Asmodeus's eyes widened as the trembling priest unscrewed his mason jar. Behold, he stammered, this water that has been blessed. Wait. Asmodeus threw up his hands. We can work something out, can't we? The Ancient One exchanged a look with Mammon. We have nothing more to discuss. Asmodeus reeled as the priest flicked holy water at his feet. His body began to shake, to burn. Please, he begged. Asmodeus loved this century. He didn't want to be banished to some boring corner of hell. But his brother's grin was iron. And in the end, the demon prince of lust resorted to bitterness. Mammon, you bastard! How many mortal businesses have I turned for you? The priest carried on, invoking the litany of saints. And you! Asmodeus glared at the old vampire as his body began to smoke. How many humans have I hunted for you? The Ancient One adjusted Jake/Cameron's head on his knee, exposing the boy's throat. Farewell, Asmodeus, and thanks for the snack.
So scary. That was awesome. I'm like addicted to these characters already. I need to know what happens.
Oh my!
I need to know more. I know what has just happened, but I want to stay in this world. I want to see what happens. I want to see what happens next with all these characters. Ro, that was awesome.
Man, that was like, it was like I thought blood was going to start coming out of my eyes.
That was so scary. Oh no, Rowan, can you hear us?
I can hear you again. Sorry.
Okay, good. Rowan, we were just saying what a fantastic piece you shared with us. I'm like dying to know what happens like next with all these characters. I'm very, very involved. You brought us to a very spooky place, and we love it. We love the vampires. We love the demons. We love it. It's fascinating, very exciting and scary and spooky, all that good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron. Come back.
Yes, you have to come back and share more. Awesome. What a fantastic reading, Chris. Oh, and like her costume with like the darkness behind her, right? I was really there. It was awesome.
I know. It's like, what the hell? What's going to happen next? It's like, I don't know, man. It was like,
that's really cool. That was very, very cool. That was we need to invite Rowan back for a longer period. We need to hear more of that story. We need more of that.
Really?
So cool. Well, we are moving into our second half of the evening, folks. We hope that you have been enjoying the spooks, the spooky readings. Chris, I'm still like so not spooky over here.
But it's cute. So keep.
Thank you. We need to welcome our next terrifying writer, our friend Melissa Slattery. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi. Can you hear
Hey. We love your costume. We love those glasses. 5 fingers more than ever in Norwalk.
Thank you. Boy, a hard act to follow. I'm still thinking about Asmodeus.
I know.
It's be stuck in hell forever. So I'll just get started and thank you both. And I have a curse.
We'll just read your bio real quick.
Okay.
No worries. And we'll get out of here. We'll give you your space to read. Melissa Slattery is a Norwalk CT humanities teacher, curator, graphic artist, and photographer who writes poems about birds' nests and other found objects. We love it, Melissa. Take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. Tonight, I'm going to read a curse. It's called The Curse of the Owl, O-W. And I'll just begin. She printed the photo of the owl out. She picked one she found on Facebook that reminded her of a homely horse. According to her research, she needed to draw a heart on the forehead of her intended victim. She used a red Sharpie to do it, feeling a sheepish connection to a loudmouth bully politician of some infamy as she methodically carried out her actions. The guidelines for grading the curse were specific. Think very carefully about the curse you wish to cast and be sure your intention is clear. Otherwise, the curse could backfire, causing you unexpected problems. What good advice, she thought. So first, the intention. What is my intention? To repair damage caused by calling for more damage? No. To right a wrong? Maybe. To cause another to suffer in revenge for suffering caused? Perhaps. This part of building her curse took days to consider. It had been 8 long years since her marriage had come to its inevitable, she now saw, pitiful end. The cause, of course, was another woman, the owl. She thought this at first. Then she realized the cause might really have been lack of compatibility, lack of sex, lack of time, lack of shared values. She thought the matter over in the early mornings with her first cup of tea made in a white mug with a gray stripe that reminded her of the diners they often ate dinner in. They never did get their dinner organized into a routine or a rhythm. When his kids visited every other weekend, they cooked and sat in the dining room together. That part worked. That was the good part. More often, he was heading off to the night shift in the local lockdown ward where he first met the OW. Then she was alone, winding down from her own long days. Recently, just before dropping off to sleep, she dwelt on the early days of the marriage. What were those fleeting, articulated thoughts about? What was her intention? He had caused her so much chagrin. Is that the right word? More wondering. Was she really heartbroken when she realized he had been lying for months? Was the betrayal the root of the suffering? Or was it that she allowed herself to trust him ever, at all? She knew he was a ne'er-do-well from the start. For her, the marriage had always felt like something bad would happen, and finally it had. Therefore, the betrayal was expected to a degree. So what had caused the searing pain, the drastic weight loss, and all the drama, the lawyers, the back and forth that lasted for years? Habit, the comfort of a familiar itch. She funneled all these thoughts into an examination of her intention. What tipped the scales was when she learned he had purchased a long-desired ramshackle farmhouse that had been restored and sold at a bargain as the COVID virus plunged the economy into turmoil and uncertainty. He got it for a steal. He was always getting things for a steal or having chunks of money just come his way. It was uncanny how money always found him. Was it really the other woman's fault that he lied and left a trail of 700 emails open day after day until she finally discovered them? Well, the other woman had insisted he leave his wife. There was that. Their passionate email exchanges were heartbreaking in their predictableness. He even wrote the OW a poem describing his farts as delightful facet of their amazing trysts. It had hurt reading that horribly awkward poem, yet she saw clearly how pathetic he really was. His poetry like that of a high school boy. When they had their first post-betrayal conversation, he had shaken with indignant rage, admitting unprodded that all he cared about was sex and having nice things, possessions, he meant. His face was red and sweaty as he trembled with this admission. It was, sadly, the truest thing he had ever said to her. So she narrowed her intention and began writing the curse. The photo of the OW was placed on a stone in her backyard, the red heart deftly drawn on the placid forehead. She had a box of strike anywhere matches at hand, along with the hammer and nail. She began, Nurse Al. I summoned the 4 directions and points of misery, bodily sickness, restlessness, lack of desire, and dullness. I drive this nail into your forehead to open your mind to these forces of negativity. May you often fail to heal the sick. May they desperately seek other healers. May you struggle to sleep. May you never feel rested. May you always work the night shift. May your menopause last for a decade and a half. May you sweat torrents and shiver with cold. May you heat up on the hottest days. And may you remain always deeply, deeply boring for the rest of your days. May your partners despair your incapacity to utter a lighthearted word. At each element of the curse, she tapped the nail through the picture of Nurse Al until the hole in her forehead was the size of a quarter, and her large, moony eyes were torn through. Finally, she said, I turn you now to ashes, and may your days feel burned out and dull until your timely demise. She struck 3 strike anywheres until the last one caught fire. She held the match to the photo and let go as it poofed into flames, quickly darkened and curled into smudgeable ashes, sinking to the ground, the image of the face still slightly discernible, the forehead punctured with a gaping hole. She felt a little better. That's it. Thank you very much.
Melissa! Whoa, spooky!
Thank you.
10 out of 10 spookies. Oh my God. Melissa Slattery. Wow. That was such palpable. Oh, the anger, the pain, the betrayal, the revenge, the curse.
And the humor.
And I love that may you remain deeply, deeply boring.
Thank you.
That was too good. That was satisfying.
Very.
I know. I want to hear it again so I can write it down.
Right?
Well,
Use it sometime.
Oh my God.
be my guest. Get in touch.
Melissa, that was so good. Oh, you had me. Oh, you totally had me. What awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Melissa. It's so great to have you on the stream.
Bye.
All right. Oh, Chris. Oh, super awesome. Oh, that was intense. What a curse.
I know, but there needs to be a part 2 to see what happens. Like
I know.
These curses always go wrong, right? I mean, there's something always backfires, but.
Right. That's true. That's true. I love that. What, like a 10, what's it? Like a decade and a half of menopause was one of the. Oh my God. And you remain deeply, deeply boring. That was so good. Oh my
Always
God.
has a night shift.
Oh, that was awesome. And what a fantastic costume and like the darkness. It was so cool.
I know.
We need to welcome our next reader of the evening, Terry Rose Johnson. Wow! Oh my God, Terry, you look so scary.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you look amazing, Terry. That's awesome.
Oh,
Thank you. Yeah, this is the Corpse Bride from
my
Tim
God.
Burton's The Corpse Bride.
there you go.
Emily is the character, and I have it so when I close my eyes, it kind of looks like those big eyes that
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God, that looks
But
so
I have to
cool.
open them to read, unfortunately. So I tried to make it less obvious that my eyes were open. And of course, I need glasses, and Emily does not wear glasses. So,
Well, it is still so super duper cool and spooky, Terry. You just rocked our world with this costume today. All right. Okay, let me read your bio before I get too carried away here. Terry Rose Jertson is a chain rattling spirit. Till death do us departed wife, devoted mummy, peer recovery specialist, undertaking matters of life and death. She was a ghostwriter who unearthed poetry in 2020 as a way to walk among the living. She regularly haunts international and national open mics at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe, Sacred Grounds, Fincabulary, Nomadic Press, Time to Arrive, Tumblewords Project, Society X, Barbed Wire Open Mic Series, Like a Blot from the Blue, Bronx Art and Fun Hub, and Poetry in the Brew. Take it away, Terry.
I am going to read something from my book. Uh-oh. Is it blinking on your end, my video?
Your video's good.
Oh, okay. It was blinking over here. Okay. So I'll just pretend that looks normal to me. So this is from the Chameleon Chronicles, published by Red or Green Books. On page 67, it's called Shadow Waits. I feed my shadow drawings and poems. Shadow gets hungry. It needs attention. It seethes, it curses, it breathes. It's ever present and in need of a safe way to express its destructive urges. Shadow is murmuring, telling me about me. Shadow says I have not evolved. Primal instinct still strong. Shadow takes a bite. Will exterminate anything in sight, perceived as danger. People close to me, strangers, can trigger its wrath, and left unattended, my shadow would surely break free to attempt murder if it was not given a pen in which to express fear, loathing, or frustration. My ability to give shadow another outlet has changed our relationship, but shadow remains the same. Where my deepest fears reside, in its lurking places, guarded by angels of light. Shadow solemnly haunts and expresses its plight, not giving a shit what's wrong or right. My darkest desires live in shadow. No conscience, no remorse, no understanding. It wants to forgive, but it lacks the capacity, so it stalks silently, crouching in dark spaces. It growls as I throw it another poem to devour. The only thing that pacifies its prehistoric tendencies, its voice, speaks clearer in this moment, in this hour, giving it power. When I hear it, and I'm the only one listening, until now. And I have another kind of amusing piece, but it's for a prompt of the crone. The mole on my chin is gone. It was described as a beauty mark by my mother when I was a child. It was tiny at first, almost invisible. But as I grew older, it got bigger, and a small hair grew out of it. This reminded me of my grandmother, who had what she called whiskers sprouting from her chin. There were many, but she used to pluck them out. I began this process of plucking, and the one hair turned into two. One day, still under the assumption that this was a beauty mark, my doctor said to me, "You know, I could burn that thing off." I was astonished that he noticed and volunteered to do this. It was one of the many times I began to question something my mother once told me. He called it a mole. Moles were, in my mind, associated with old, ugly witches from fairy tales. I quickly decided to let him do just that. The process was painless, for the most part, and afterwards, there was a barely visible scar. Later, after a year or so, a single white whisker appeared in its place. If I have more time, I have a couple of short ones.
We love it. Terry, you can give us, we could do one more.
Because I have these things that are called 2-sentence horror stories.
Oh my God. We need to hear at least one.
Okay, so I will, let's see. I have to just pick one. They're all so good.
I love that white hair instead of the mole. Ooh, even that.
Unfortunately, that's a true story.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Okay. This is a very short one. In the cornfield of children, eyes sprouted from ears. Run away from here.
Ooh. We love it, Terry, and just like listening to you read and share this powerful poem about writing and these metaphors, and then the funny poem about the mole. Fantastic pieces that you shared, and the costume is just killer. It is awesome.
Thank you.
We're very honored that you took the time to assuming that you didn't wake up that way.
Oh,
yes, and I'm not going to go to sleep this way either. Yeah, this stuff has to come off.
Terry, you just look absolutely amazing. Just incredible. And everybody, just so you know, all of our fantastic readings this evening, including everyone's fantastic costumes, all of our readings are archived on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you want to go back and watch or snap a little screenshot or listen again.
Awesome.
Yes. So Terry, we're really honored at your awesome makeup efforts there.
I'm
so
going to take a picture
cool.
of you guys right now. There we go.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Can I do it again? I'll do it again. I'll give you another chance. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
We love you, Terry. Go take a look at your comments and love in the chat, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Wow, that corpse bride costume was so good. And she was bringing the spookiness with both of those. One more serious and spooky, one more funny. We love it. And then that little one at the end there, that's very cool. We have 3 more readers this evening, folks, so get ready to continue to be spooked. We are so excited to welcome Mary Catherine Harper. Hey, Mary Catherine.
Oh, hello. So good to be here.
Thank you so much. Hasn't it been a super awesome spooky night?
It is. And you're going to see from my readings that, oh, my heavens, Terry Rose and I think we're on the same wavelength. Truly, you'll see.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome. Chris, read Mary's bio.
I'm going to. Mary Catherine Harper, an Ohio Arts Council Individual Excellence and Spooky Award winner and 2-time recipient of the Gwendolyn Brooks Poetry Prize for Spooky Poetry, was selected as the 2019 Ohio Arts Council Spooky Poetry Resident, Fine Arts Work Center of Big Spooky Cod. She has 2 published collections, Some Gods Don't Need Saints chapbook from 2016, and The Found Object Imagines a Life, New and Selected Poems. That's from our buddies at Cornerstone Press. Her poetry has appeared in numerous journals, including, well, there's a lot of them, the Comstock Review, Cold Mountain Review, New England Review, Slab, Print-Oriented Bastards, my favorite, and the co-organizes the yearly Swamp Fire Retreat. You can find that at swampfire.org for artists and writers in Angola, Indiana. And you can also go to Mary Catherine Harper, that's Catherine with a C.org, for more spooky information.
Yes. And Swamp Fire is a very spooky place. No, seriously, it's a very fun place. I'm going to be reading 2 poems this evening from my collection, The Found Object Imagines a Life. Here we go. There are images of horror out there in the world, and they cause me to go into a shadowland when I think about these images. It's where the real and the imagined mix together. In this first poem, you'll see that. I'll only be reading a section of it. So here we go. It's called Letting the Magic Show. Shadows protect you and me, even as we sometimes misuse their power to hide ourselves away from the world inside our pallid skin. I've read your horror tales of the psychopathic woman who decapitates children and mummifies their heads to keep as trophies. She makes sure to feed them well, even in the winter, for muscle and bone need iron and calcium all year long. The brain of each and every child needs the protein that binds love to dendrites. I ask you to open the cabinet where she keeps the plump faces of babies. You ask me, what kind of meat goes into the stew that makes my writing so infamous? We laugh and laugh at the thought of you and me unzipping our skins to enter the story, to try wickedness on for size, knowing we never could, neither of us having such power in any such shadowland. We do not talk of what blood, whose blood we might wish to shed, instead telling each other fairy tales of wicked witches transformed into thorny woods that any fool knows never to enter. But we do. We do. It's our destiny, our vocation, to find irony buried there, fertilizing the undergrowth. We know who our shadows are. We know the branches of the witchwood are our own spreading hands, ours the sap dripping from thorny limbs, our odor rising from the ground, filling the air with possibility. I ignore your scarlet wrist scars as you bear your limbs so delicately cut. I admire the tattoo slithering up your arms and wait. I have learned to be patient, not to force revelation's power for the next story you might need to tell, for the magic show of ink on your glowing skin. And the second poem. Some images of horror are made extra sinister, I think, by their suggestiveness. In this poem, the sinister image, a found object, and I thought it was really cool that Melissa deals with found objects too. But this sinister image gets to speak to you. The found object imagines a life. Lying here on the sidewalk, I will wait for someone like you to stop. Pick me up. Something round edged, soft in the middle, an invitation to press your index finger into me. Just so. I'll give under your touch, seduce you with the warmth, the way the spring sun feels on your exposed arms, your throat, your lips, your eyelids, as you step into the street of cars, enthralled. I won't release you. No found object ever does, even though I'll feel sympathy for the inconvenience I cause your collapsed lung, your cracked femur. You'll live. You'll spend the rest of your life confounded, yet fascinated by the persistence of me. My promise beckoning. Or is it my premise? Do I remind you of something you read or something you heard? That catchy tune, that hum in your head, that multisyllabic mantra not to be shaken off? Your own private earworm? Earwig? I'll dangle from the edge of you, coercing you to compose poems about me, to recite me over and over. An ineffectual exorcism. When you die, I'll be the crawling script just under the parchment of your skin, to be read from the inside out. Read me one last time. Only at the funeral will I ooze through the seams of you, me releasing you as they close the lid, me escaping your life to make promises elsewhere.
Wow, Mary Catherine! What, you blew our mind!
Did I creep you out?
Yes! That was
You
awesome!
have the scariest laugh of the night. That
Oh, yeah.
Serious
So-
Laugh Award.
this nice Midwestern person in her chair
Ooh, lovely
in the Midwest, and
chair.
she comes up with this like stuff that gives you goose pimples.
Yeah! 10 out of 10 spookies. That was awesome. Mary Catherine, what awesome poems about darkness and this the voice of the found object as well, and the laughter and just sort of especially that inner darkness of the first one as well. Oh wow, just really, really awesome, really spooky, and really makes you think. So good. We love it, Mary Catherine. Can we hear that spooky laugh one more time? That was awesome. Mary Catherine, that was super awesome reading. You have to go check out all the love and comments in the chat. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you so much. It was great.
Thank you, Mary Catherine. Oh my God. What a dark horse there with the scary poems.
She's
Mary
weak
Catherine.
tonight. Just hearing Mary Catherine Harper's laugh.
That spooky laugh and her tone of reading. Whoa. Super spooky. That was awesome. That was really, really awesome. Well, we have two more spooky, super spooky, scary authors who are joining us this evening, and we are super excited to get to be spooked two more times. We need to welcome our next reader of the evening, Ryan Meyer. Hey, Ryan.
Hi.
Hasn't it been an incredibly spooky evening, Ryan?
Oh, it so has. I'm so in the mood for being spooky now.
For being spooky. Absolutely. Oh, it's just been awesome. It's been so awesome. And Ryan, we see your comments in the chat here. We love that. All right, Ryan Meyer is an award-winning writer whose work has appeared in Freshwater Poetry Magazine, Beechwood Review, Moontide Press's Dark Ink Horror Anthology, Folio Literary Magazine, and Spellbinder Magazine. Ryan and his books have been featured in Forbes, Cosmopolitan, Publishers Weekly, Pop Culture List, Lambda Literary, Connecticut Magazine, and more. He publishes Haunt. Haunt, his first book of poems, awesome, in February 2018, and his follow-up Tempest in March 2021. He lives in Shelton, Connecticut. Hey, Connecticut. And has several spooky horror tattoos. Ooh, can we see some of those? Right.
I have a Pennywise on my arm.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's too scary, Ryan.
And I have an alien right next to it.
Oh my God, that's awesome and so scary. Oh my God. And you can learn more about Ryan and his work at nothingpeak.com. Excited to hear you share tonight, Ryan.
Thank you. I'm going to dive right in to a few poems from my book, Haunt, with the title poem, Haunt. I can't seem to do much anymore on my own. The little girls in black dresses know that. Identical, unnerving. They stand around my bed as I sleep, and they dash down the halls, their shoes clacking along the floor, their laughter ringing in my ears. But I don't think they smile. Not like the ghosts in the movies. I've stopped locking the doors and windows. They'll just unlock them anyway. Soon enough, all doors must swing open. They can see the dark haze that hovers around me, floating just above the ground, and of all things, they make sure not to touch the empty bottles I leave trailing behind my drunken gingerbread path. Forged from cork is my sad SOS. Someone, anyone, exterminate these spirits, because I can't seem to do much anymore on my own. My next one is called, some Connecticut natives might recognize this title. It's called Dracula Drive. It's on Velvet Street. They call it Dracula Drive because of how dark it gets, I think. My girlfriend sits in the passenger seat, staring out the window as we coast along this narrow road between the trees. I glance down at my nails, the girliest thing about me, black paint chipping where I've picked away with my thumbs and teeth. She's tapping a finger against the corner of her cell phone, probably deep in thought. I think we're both trying to seem brave. After all, it's just a myth that the deformed melon heads roam these woods. I stop along the side of the road and put the car in park. We roll our windows down and, after some hesitation, I turn the car off. Exposed to the night, we can't even hear crickets out in the wood. We can probably hear a breath from a mile away. Almost 15 minutes pass. Jane's arms are folded in front of her, and she's rested her foot up on her seat. She sniffs, brushing her hair out of her face. Something's wrong. She's been acting strange for days, as though she's needed to get something off her chest. I hate it, how she's seemed so distant lately. I ask her if everything's okay. She wipes a tear off her cheek, signaling what can only be the words I've feared would leave her mouth. Jane looks up at me. Before she can answer, her eyelids narrow and she cocks her head. I turn and notice my car door was wide open. Unbuckling my seatbelt, I lean out of the car to close it, and then I notice something dash in front of the car, a flash of white. I'm about to close the door, struck with fear, real fear this time, when a noise, the sound of nails on a chalkboard, pierces the air. Hyperventilating, I leap out of the car in a rush of adrenaline. It stands behind my car, half hidden, a figure with pale white skin and eyes the purest black, and it smiles something wicked, with a mouthful of baby-like teeth. I stand frozen in terror. Sparing a moment, I glance at Jane in the passenger seat, staring at me as though I were crazy, trying to avoid the inevitable. Little does she know I'm staring it right in the face. But when I look back at the creature, it's gone. I get the car started in moments, and we're driving off, not a word between us. The next day, she leaves, telling me I need to get a grip on reality, but the claw mark on the side of my car is still there, deep as hell, real as ever. And my last poem that I'm going to read is called You Saw the Afterlife. It wasn't what you'd thought, the afterlife. You didn't see clouds of white, no angels. You said it was a sinking feeling at the pit of your stomach. The ground rose up around you like sandpaper walls. Heat consumed you like none you'd ever felt. I'd never heard of anyone coming back from hell, I said, and the shadow that crossed your face filled the room on the 4th floor of St. Joe's, drowning out the sound of the heart monitor. You told me the air down there was filled with distant screams instead of birds chirping or crickets singing in the night. Suffering lingered, hovering just above the ground. I asked if you saw a horned man or a throne of fire, but the blankness in your eyes said enough. So I let the question float away, trapping itself against the ceiling just above the window, overlooking the parking lot. It pains me to say I hesitated to hold your hand, as though you'd possessed some contagious disease. I know you couldn't have passed it on to me, but there's always the fear that it was too late for me too. And that's all I have.
Spooky Ryan! Baby like teeth. I'm gonna have nightmares tonight. Nightmares.
Right?
Oh my god.
Right?
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I have not done the Dracula Drive challenge, and I don't plan to
Oh
anytime
my
soon.
god. Oh my god. I actually have never heard about this. I'm gonna Google
No?
it. I'm gonna be scared, but I'm gonna
It's
Google
in
it.
Trumbull.
It's
I'm
in
pretty sure
Trumbull.
it's Trumbull. You're supposed to park your car and then like see how long you can go with your car completely off, all the lights off, and your door open.
No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know, I'm tempted now, though. I'm tempted.
Well,
Connecticut
don't
people.
do it because I said it. I don't want anyone getting in trouble.
No, I won't. Oh my god, I'm such a scaredy cat. I can't even. Oh, I can't even. I'm just still the baby like teeth. Oh my god.
Right. Yeah.
Ryan, that was so spooky and so haunting, and yet so embedded in our, realities of relationships. And that's what
Yeah.
that's probably the spookiest part, how real and how grim and how dark that is. That is awesome. Really, really awesome stuff. Powerful, palpable creepiness, Ryan. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. All right. We need to have you back again, Ryan. We need to get you back on here soon. We'll be in touch.
Okay. I love it. I'm game.
Thank you, Ryan. Oh my God, that was awesome, wasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, who knew that poems could be so damn scary?
Oh, I know.
I mean, I guess Edgar Allan Poe knew that, but it's like, but genuinely spooky.
Oh my God, that creature. Oh my God, that was scary.
I don't know.
Baby, that's the scariest thing is the baby like teeth. You've seen, like people who do like sort of horror illustrations and they put little teeny tiny teeth. That's scarier than big teeth to me. That's scarier. It's creepier.
Kind of just like a little bit sharp.
I don't like that. Yeah. Anyways, that was awesome. Very effective. Very scary. Finishing up the evening tonight, we have an incredible writer, a Fumfa friend of ours, Deb Carr.
Hey,
we love your mask, Deb. We love it. You knocked our socks off last year and scared us real bad with the story that you shared last year, and I think we even got to hear it again at a reading on the island. Even we got to hear it again. We did. It was awesome to hear it again, and we're so excited that you're back with us tonight, Deb. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I think. Oh, Chris, will you do the honors of sharing?
Yeah.
Deb's bio?
Definitely. Oh yeah, Deb Carr has always had an affinity for Elvira, mistress of the dark. We can see that during the day. A job somewhere in the federal government, somewhere, and she's an aspiring writer. Just not aspiring, she's a writer. But at night, she joins the Legion of the Undead. She prefers to hang out at local bars that are letting out at closing time. This allows her to imbibe shots via the blood alcohol content of her quarry without having to pay for them. Very clever.
Yes. Unfortunately,
awesome.
I couldn't get the Elvira costume because by the time I got to Target, they were putting out the Christmas stuff.
Oh my God. Tomorrow it's going to be 100% Christmas. It was already creeping up on the Halloween candy. They're out of control.
Take it away, Elvira.
Take it away.
All right, thanks. This is excerpt from a short story that is about a young French soldier during World War I who has an unexpected power. It's called A Simple Wish. Verdun, 1916. They stirred. like green shoots springing from tulip bulbs buried in the cold spring earth, cracking through the husks that entombed them and thrusting blindly upwards to greet the sun. I thought of that chapter of the Bible, Ezekiel, that my mother loved to read aloud during one of her fits of madness, spittle flying from her lips as she intoned the verses. She thought that they spoke to her. She was always so dramatic. Prophesy to these bones and say to them, dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says to these bones. I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. I will attach tendons to you and make flesh come upon you and cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. That's just what I had done. I had made a simple wish. I stood in a trench, ankle deep in mud, trying not to shake like an old man with palsy. I huddled in a dugout with other soldiers, peering out as if we were sheltering from rain. But there was no rain. Man-sized German shells pounded the French line. Soldiers flinched at the explosions. Above our trench was a blasted world of bomb craters, bare trees with jagged limbs, shattered timbers, broken wagon wheels, with barbed wires snaking over it all. Poking out of the earth here and there were glimpses of skeletal dead horses, skeletal dead men. The exploding shells buried and unburied them again like pebbles tumbling in the ocean surf. Come back, I whispered to the skeletons buried out in the no man's land. Rusting helmets on caved-in heads, greatcoats shredded by shrapnel, moldering ammunition belts still fastened around their waists, rifles with dirt-clogged barrels topped with rusty bayonets. I thrust my hand in my coat pocket and pulled out a trench mirror. Fastening it to the bayonet on my rifle, I stepped out of the dugout. I leaned back against the side of the trench and lifted the rifle barrel in the air like a periscope. I peered up at the mirror. There they were, shapes unburying themselves in the no man's land. I was so entranced by what I was seeing that I ignored a distant whistle. Renee, barked Jock, what are you doing? The whistle became the scream of an incoming shell, which hit the trench like a locomotive. Jock and the dugout and the trench disappeared in the thundering white blast. I found myself buried to my waist. Frantic, my elbows dug into the mud as I struggled to pull free. Both legs came free as bloody stumps, shredded below the knee. I screamed, but there was no sound. I was deaf from the blast. I came to lying on the floor beneath a wooden staircase inside the fort. Explosions outside made the stone walls tremble and the bare light bulbs dim. I was deposited here by stretcher bearers who dashed out during a lull in the shelling. When our line got hit, I was the only tulip bulb that stayed above ground. The rest got buried. I was looked over quickly by a hairy doctor wearing a bloody apron, who turned to an orderly peering over its shoulder. I saw their lips move, but didn't understand the words. I got a shot of morphine, a thin blanket thrown over my stumps, and was abandoned. Blood, what little I had left, was ringing in my deaf ears. There were other soldiers lying nearby. One wheezed and rattled as he breathed. I had a revelation. They must be considered as hopeless as I. As if to emphasize this idea, a chaplain appeared, poking his head in on the wretches under the stairs, making the sign of the cross on foreheads. I grabbed his elbow as he came to me. Father, Ezekiel, the valley of the dry bones, I've done it, I croaked. You've done what? He exclaimed, surprised that a nearly dead man could be so lively. And that's it. You'll have to find out the rest later.
Oh no.
Oh my God. We have so many factors here. So many factors. The shapes unburying themselves.
Yeah.
Whoa. And just the bombs dropping, the World War One-iness, the Ezekiel quote, so many creepy things that make us need to know more. Deb, when can we hear the rest of this story?
I don't know. Next Halloween, I have to finish it.
We need you back ASAP, Deb. We need to know. That
That's
was
a great
awesome,
idea,
Deb.
right?
Right.
Wow. Really like gut-wrenching, tragic, scary, intense. Oh, like real and unreal. We love it. We love it, Deb. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, always
Happy
bringing
Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween, Deb. She's so good at spooking us, Chris.
I know. My bones are chilled.
I know. I was so motivated to write comments because I was so spooked. I was doing like this with my. I wanted to get him on for the last few minutes. Anyways, Deb, thank you again so much. So
You're
good
welcome.
to see you. So great to hear you. Happy Halloween.
Same to you all.
Awesome. Well, Chris, wasn't it just an absolutely fabulous, terrifying evening of readings?
This is the spookiest spooky night we've ever had. That's for sure.
100%. Thank you so much to all of our readers and performers this evening. Just to run down the list, Phil Lemos, also
Birthday boy.
birthday boy, Phil Lemos, Meg Moore, Jane Spoken Word, Ed Foreman, aka Ed Poetastic, Rowan Marcy, Melissa Slattery, Terry Rose Jertson, Mary Catherine Harper, Ryan Meyer, and Deb Carr, all incredible writers. Go buy their books, go follow them on social media. They just rock. I also, if they have had features with us, go look those up and check those out if you haven't already. And we also thank you, our lovely audience of friends and fans and former guests, all of our people out there. We just wish you the happiest Halloween. We hope you have some good spooky fun and stay safe. And Chris, we'll see everyone next week with.
We got Ryan Stovall and Dara Kalima. It's going to be a big night. Check it out.
It's going to be awesome. Chris, can we see Mini Chris one more time?
Where is he? Here he is.
Oh my God, Mini Chris, no! Mini Chris, no! Oh my God. Oh my God. Mini Chris, I didn't know you were evil. Oh my God. We better end this stream. Things are getting crazy. Things are getting crazy over here. Happy Halloween, everyone. Thank you to our readers. Thank you to our audience. I'm going to need to go save Chris.